to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Westfield, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County.
The Chautauqua Center.
Are you looking for affordable medical, dental, or counseling services? The Chautauqua Center is always accepting new patients at their Jamestown and Dunkirk locations. They offer discounted prescriptions and accept all insurances. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Happy February, everybody. There was a little dramatic pause there. Wasn't sure when to start talking. I have to wait to see myself, I guess. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels here on Access Chautauqua, Channel 1301. Glad you could join us this morning. And I want to say good morning to the world. We stream around the world, and we're glad that you are listening or watching us, whatever you're doing. And as I remind you, I'm going to do this a few more times, is when you watch us, leave us a little note or like us so that we can put you on our map behind me, and we're going to kind of track our viewers around the world. We're over a couple of continents right now. We're hoping to get down into South America, over to Asia. Justin, is your cousin still in Antarctica? Did he? No? All right. We'll have to work on that one. Anyways, we're happy to be streaming live. This way, if you are on the road and you want to watch whatever's going, there's the map right over there. If you want to watch the show, you can take us anywhere in the world with you, and that's really cool. I want to say good afternoon to all our listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. So glad you could join us. I know that we're always talking into the future here, but that's okay. Our show today is going to be really cool. I feel like I'm going to get motion sickness if we keep doing that. All right. I like to pester the guys here. Okay. Also, pester me too. Thank you. It's even. I want to remind you that this is a live TV show, and you can give us a call at 716-753-5225, and you can do a call-in. If you have a question, a comment, you want to announce your club or organization's event, happy to do it, free of charge. If you have a question for my guest, be nice. If you have a question for me, be nicer. And oh, yes, I want to make a comment at this time. For the viewer that called in and left a wonderful note about suggesting that I get some speakers on what I call estate planning, as far as power of attorney, let's see, what else are there? Healthcare proxy, all that stuff, your wills and things like that. I do have somebody from the Office for the Aging that will be coming later on this spring. So thank you for that suggestion, and that goes for anyone that's listening or watching right now. If you have a topic that you want us to get a speaker, cool. I have access to a lot of folks in Chautauqua County and more than happy to do that. So thanks for that, and we are going to have that coming up. Okay, we were laughing earlier about politics, and as you all know, I very seldom, if ever, talk about anything about politics outside of Chautauqua County, or at least the region. And we're going to stay with that mission. Yay! One of the few shows you can watch without. As you know, we talk about local good stuff here. And so let's talk a little about the good stuff. Holy mackerel, good on Fredonia. Wow, we've been promoting that here. Yeah, congratulations, all our friends up there. And as I said last week before we heard the announcement, anytime anybody does something really cool, you lift all of us together. It's just not, one portion of the county. So that's tremendous, and we couldn't be happier for you. I'm overwhelmed with joy for that. I mean, I really am. I just think that's so cool to be on the national spotlight in that. So we'll have to see how that all rolls out now as we go along. And there's a second bright spot once again, and there's many bright spots. We talk about it here every week, but the one that's right on the center stage right now is the National Comedy Center. I guess they're in competition for being one of the top tourist attractions in the country, probably in the world, really. And so I know there's some kind of voting, so check that out. Go on your Facebook pages or out there on the internet and check out the National Comedy Center in Jamestown, because they are definitely being focused as well. So we got both ends of the county, we got the middle of the county, we got the sides of the county. We cover everything here on Chautauqua Sunrise. So good stuff going on in our county. I know when I first moved to this area, the people say, it's just nothing happening, blah, blah, blah. We're moving. I mean, we're really moving, and that's great. So let's keep up the momentum and support each other. Okay, now tomorrow is an interesting day. Today's the first day of February, so I thought, oh my gosh, tomorrow's Groundhog's Day. So I took a survey of my prognosticators here, and at the end of the year, my guests maybe don't know this, but our last show of the calendar year, we have our predictions and sometimes resolutions. We sort of gave up resolutions because we're not very good at them. And I found that we're probably just as bad at making predictions. So we all were predicting who's going to win the Super Bowl, and none of our teams are in it. They're not even being represented. So we had to go with plan B here. So I surveyed the crew here, and so we're predicting as a crew that tomorrow Kansas City will win. 5 out of 6 of us say that. We only have one 49er. So anyways, so good luck to KC. And then, of course, I had to do some fabulous research about Groundhog's Day. So, of course, I used Siri on my phone. And I said, what's the weather going to be like in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania? So before I tell you the weather report, we had who thought the groundhog was going to see his or her shadow, and I'm assuming it's a guy, I don't know. And so we had 5 no's, no shadow tomorrow, which is good, and we only have a spoiler in the group, one thought that Punxsutawney would see his shadow. So according to the weather report on Siri, which is, I mean, it's like the best source of things, right? All things computer. They're saying it's going to be snowing tomorrow morning. So snow, clouds, no shadow. So we'll see. So 5 out of 6 say no shadow tomorrow. So there you have it. Kansas City's going to win, and it's going to be a short spring. Or short winter. Could be a short spring too. Everything's been kind of goofy lately. Did you watch the weather report, just the extended weather report? It's all like flat in the mid-30s and a little bit in the 30s. By now, we're usually like 10 below zero or something, but what are you going to do? All right, so we have a bunch of announcements, and as I always tell you, you're doing a good job. Thanks for sending me information, and we're going to get to those right now. So we're going to start in Jamestown. All right, the Infinity Visual and Performing Arts, very good friends of ours, are inviting local artists to participate in the 6th Annual Infinity Art Market and Auction. Infinity's Art Market and Auction is an annual event that supports area artists by giving them a market to showcase and sell their arts, all the while raising funds to support youth music, arts instruction at the Infinity Performing Arts Center. The fundraiser, which is held at the Infinity Arts Cafe, will take place on Saturday, April 4th. Now you might say, why are we talking about that now? Well, hang on. Infinity's market and auction features art filled with locally crafted items to help showcase local artists, as I said, and it's followed by an auction of the locally crafted pieces to raise funds for the programs. More than 20 artists participated last year. So this is why, because today is the last day, supposedly you can register. I don't think they're going to argue with you for tomorrow, but they want to know who's going to participate and get things organized. So if you're an artist and you're interested in participating in this, you should go to their website, infinityperformingarts.org. So that's all one word, infinityperformingarts.org. Or you can call Ashley at 664-0991. Okay? Then we have slide 15, sip and sample, as opposed to slip and sample that I read the first week. Imagine if you do too much sipping, you might be slipping. I don't know. I was like, my eyes were crossing. This is taking place today, so prepare yourself. This is going to start at 1 o'clock. It's going to 4 o'clock at the Lake Erie Grape Discovery Center over on Main Street in Westfield. So what's going on? You can enjoy samples from the Lake Erie Local Chili Wines Craft Beer Cook-Off. That's a mouthful. Liberty Vineyards and Winery, Mazza, Chautauqua Cellars, and Sparkling Ponds Winery are going to be there. Sample a variety of chili dishes prepared by Concord Grape Belt Heritage Association members. You be the judge. Your event ticket entitles you to vote in this friendly chili cook-off competition. I don't think there's anything as a friendly chili cook-off. I've watched some of these people, and they're out there working the crowd. Mine. There's going to be live music by Tim Bartlett, who is an acoustic musician. Plus, you're going to have Willow Creek Winery, 5 and 20 Spirits and Brewing. They're all local brewers and wineries right here in the area. Well, I'm going to have to tell you, I think pre-sale tickets are over because it's today. So $15 at the door, includes all tastings and entertainment. Sounds like a fun afternoon. If you have any questions, give them a call at 969-4859. And just for your information, the Grape Discovery Center is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. Now, if you're listening to this after the fact, no problem. They have events there like all the time. And as many of you know, I played there the last couple of summers. They have music, they have wine tasting, they have free grape juice samples. So it's a great place. If you haven't been there and you live in Chautauqua County, shame on you. It's just a great venue to hang out for about an hour or so, or longer, doesn't matter. They got exhibits and they got a little shop there and you can try different things, so good thing. Okay, this is a new one just came through. This is starting February 3rd. This will be Monday. So I'm going to read it all the way through once, and then maybe we'll just trim it back afterwards. Area residents looking for a little extra motivation to keep moving during the winter months are invited to participate in the Cool Walk Group at the Northwest Arena in Jamestown. I'm using my radio voice here. Walkers will meet from 9:30 to 10:15 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, starting Monday, February 3rd. This session will continue for 8 weeks, ending March 30th. Randy, are you listening? The Cool Walk is open to all walkers, regardless of current fitness level, age, or ability. The program offers accountability, exercise tips, weekly prize drawings, and access to coaching and support from a certified walking program instructor. I didn't know there was such a thing, a certified walking program instructor. The Cool Walk is a partnership between Northwest Arena and the County Health Department. That sounds great. Walking is a great way to improve stamina and overall fitness. And the cushion track at the Northwest Arena offers a safe, comfortable, and friendly environment for walking, says Northwest Arena's Executive Director, Keith Martin. In Ripley, where I live, Cool Walk means take the dog out, walk through the woods, through the fields, get unstuck from all the prickers out there, and get back in one piece. Lisa, oh boy, I can't say her middle name. Lisa Miller of the County Health Department is the Cool Walk coach and notes the following. Our last program had fast walkers and slow walkers. And we all had a good time and noticed improvement. Participants walk at their own pace, but often find others to walk with, which makes the laps go by so quickly. We're also excited to have guest walkers coming to the program, including Walk with the Mayor, featuring Jamestown's newly elected Mayor Eddie Sundquist, and representatives from the area organizations, adds Miss Miller. The Cool Walk program is offered at no charge, but participants are asked to purchase a walking membership to the arena. A day pass is $1, and a membership cost $1 per session, or $15 for a month, or $45 for 6 months of unlimited walking. Memberships may be purchased at the arena front desk, and so forth. So if you have any questions, give them a call, 753-4795, and that's at the Department of Health. Again, 753-4795. Sounds like fun. Get out there and walk. Okay, moving along here. We're going to go to Pasta for a Purpose. Okay, that's going to be held on Valentine's Day. Pasta for a Purpose. February 14th from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at Chautauqua Suites. Tickets are only $40. Each ticket offers a chance for the grand prize. I don't know what the grand prize is. Secret. Italian dinner, wine, DJ, photo booth, basket raffle, and a whole lot of action, it says. Proceeds assist children receive mental health counseling who normally would not be able to afford these services. And this is being sponsored by the Family Service of the Chautauqua region. If you want more information, give them a call at 488-1971. Okay, then coming up, holding, Mayville Winter Festival. We're holding. They have more snow up here than in Ripley, and I thought we had a bunch of snow. So I think you're going to be okay. The weather report, like I said, is at mid-30s, so hang in there. The holidays may be over, but one of the best events of the winter is yet to come. The President's Day Weekend Winter Festival is February 14th through the 16th, right down the road from us at Lakeside Park in Mayville. The spectacular annual event celebrates our wonderful winter season here in Chautauqua County. Wonderful winter season. It features construction of a large ice castle on the shore of Chautauqua Lake, weather permitting, at 6 p.m. February 14th, followed by the Queen of Hearts Ice Ball under the big tent from 6:30 to 9:30. That sounds like fun. Throughout the weekend, there will be activities, games, crafts, vendors, and beer and wine tent. Carriage rides, ice hockey, an ice fishing contest, a snowball contest, chili cook-off, chili's in the air, music, the polar bear plunge to benefit food pantries in Western New York, a 5K run by Chautauqua Striders, and an amazing fireworks display, and a whole lot more. They were still looking for volunteers last we know, and Jacqueline Sasso will take your call if you're interested at 366-6200. I paused on those words, wonderful winter season, because my wife is always grumbling. I kind of like it. I'm okay with it. But there are people just don't seem to appreciate the cold weather. I don't know. Okay, Sassy Bags and Beyond Blingo. My lips are all stretched out after these announcements. Sassy Bags and Beyond Blingo. It's going to be held February 26th, a Wednesday. Doors open from 6 p.m. And the Blingo starts at 7 p.m. Tickets are only $20. There's only 200 available. 12 Blingo games, handbags for each game winner. Raffle tickets available, including a change for spa and salon services. And this is sponsored by the Resource Center. Give them a call if you're interested at 661-1477. And let's do one more, then we're going to take a breather. Okay, there's the 19th annual poster contest. It's being sponsored by Prevention Works, what used to be CASIC, and their theme this year is Prevention Works. And this is all about Alcohol Awareness Month, and this is open to all Chautauqua County students grades 3 through 12. And I can tell you, there's prize money in all this. So if you're interested, check it out. It's the 19th annual poster contest, and let them know at your school. Kathleen Colby is the director of training over there, and if you want to give her a call, 664-3608 for more information. Okay, that's all I have for right now. We're going to take a breather. Stay tuned. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great show coming up.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. that I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly, just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Woo, what was that? That was Mike Ferguson. Where did he come from? You guys are giving me all kinds of little surprises today. Okay, if you're just catching us, we're Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and I have two guests that are actually no strangers to the studio. They've been here before, but they're coming here in a little different role than they had prior to this. And one of the things that I enjoy in life is bringing people together that have a common purpose, a common cause. I have made no bones about this over the years. I've had other folks here to represent Rotary. I'm a Rotarian, and I am happy to invite and introduce once again Michele Starwalt, who is our assistant governor for our region for Rotary, and a very dear friend of mine, Bob Tereberry.
You didn't say old, thank you.
I was getting there. Who is also a fellow Rotarian out of Jamestown. And Michele, you're from the Dunkirk-Fredonia area, right?
Correct, yes.
So, Michele, I had proposed this show today a while back because I've had district governors on the show and so forth, and I was looking at my calendar and it was filling up fast. So I knew that I could put together a show more locally than I could if I grabbed people from out of the area. So thank you for coming, and people that may or may not know what Rotary is, I think if you say Rotary, I think a lot of times they think of something that's not what Rotary is. I know that seems really kind of blah, what I just said, but they'll say, well, do you do that? No, we don't, and so what is Rotary?
It's an international service organization that was founded by Paul Harris back in the early 1900s, and there's over 12 million members currently around the world. There's actually 35,000 clubs. Here in Chautauqua County, we have 5 Rotary clubs. We're part of the District 7090, and in Chautauqua County, we're Region 16. And we have, in the district level, we have a little over 2,000 people, members of Rotary.
Now, with the district that we're all in, 7090 as we call it, that's our number, it's our code number, I guess. It's kind of unusual, isn't it?
It is, because there are many clubs across the Canadian border. And so when there's district meetings or district events, sometimes they're held in Canada, sometimes they're held on the state side. But it brings a great perspective that we, kind of have an international district.
Very nice, very nice. Now, Bob,
Are there any more of those in the world, though? Or are we the only international district, or are there others?
I think there's others.
I'm sure
Okay.
there are others.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty sure there are, especially in Europe, I'll bet there
I'll
are.
bet,
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are with the Jamestown AM Club?
Right. Yeah, we meet early in the morning, and that's
How early is early?
Well, meeting starts at 7:15. But there's a good reason for that.
I'm sure there isn't.
It's for all the people it's for all the insomniacs. No, it's a club that started with people who were in the noon club who couldn't make that break in their day for noon, for lunch and a meeting at noon. So, but they could before they went to work.
Gotcha.
So our meeting's 8:30.
the
Everybody's
door.
out of there because they got to be to work. They have a meeting. They're, Ken Lasker used to be a Rotarian. He had to be to
to court,
court in,
yeah.
in Mayville, and
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
out the door. And so it works for people that don't mind getting up. Speakers, when we have speakers or guests, they may not be thrilled when you tell them. That's always the last thing I tell them. I get them to commit to coming to be a speaker, and then I tell them we start at 7:15.
I was invited years ago to join the Jamestown Morning Club, and I said, "Well, what time do you meet?" And they said, 7:15. I go, "I live in Ripley." I said, "I'd have to get up like at 5:30 to get ready to go to a meeting." No, it's not going to happen.
I'm the one that lives the farthest away. I live in Maple Springs.
Oh my gosh, how do you do
I
it?
bet I'm the first one there 9 out of 10 times.
So, so we talk globally that Rotary is a very large organization, millions of folks and so forth. But what Is it? What's the purpose of it?
Let me go back to your word globally, because that's the nice, for me, and
Okay.
for a lot of people too, that's the nice thing about Rotary. It's global. So you can be, made aware of and then help globally, other countries in the world, and you can do within your nation, within your state, within your community, because it's hard to, I believe this is true. We focus on all that. We don't just focus on one organization and helping them. Although our club does help the East Side Y a lot.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of other stuff. We donate, we send people, we have exchange students. That's a big part of Rotary is exchange students. So that's, to me, that's the joy of Rotary is that it touches a lot of places.
Okay. So,
And I always love the mission of Rotary, which is service above self. And I think that really just very nicely defines Rotary in a nutshell, service above self. So yes, there's many overseas projects that we can support financially. There's teams that actually travel around the world and work on water wells and building sheds and homes for people who are needing a place to live. And then locally, we're able to roll up our sleeves and actually do something in our communities. Most of the clubs in our region have something, a big fundraiser or a project that they're working on for the year. And we like to incorporate other community partners as well. There's people who incorporate schools, there's people who incorporate some place like rural ministry, and all working together, we can truly make a difference.
how many clubs are in Chautauqua County now?
5.
Could you tell us where they are?
Yes. There's the Faulkner Rotary Club. There is the AM Jamestown Club, which Bob is a member of. There's the PM Jamestown Club, which
That's
is
noon?
at noon. They meet at noon. And then the Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary Club, they also meet at noon on Thursdays. And then your club, the
Westfield
Westfield Mayville Club,
Tuesdays
at
at
5:15.
Okay, so now I know my listeners are saying, okay, fine, you've told us their names, but where do they meet? So where's Faulkner meet? Do you know?
Faulkner meets at the Roger Torrey Peterson
Okay.
Museum.
Cool. And Bob, where do you guys meet?
Well, we're meeting now at Venue 31, which is at the corner of First and Main in Jamestown. It's a facility that you can rent for a wedding, a shower,
I
a
guess I'm
meeting.
not familiar with that one.
We've been to several different places, and that's determined by the size of the club and a lot of other things. But that's where we're meeting now.
And the PM Club?
The PM Club, well, the Noon Club.
Meets at Doubletree.
meets at Doubletree, at the new Doubletree, the big hotel.
They were formerly at the Jackson Center, but there's a lot of construction
Right.
going on there right
I don't know
now, and
where
they've
Doubletree
moved to
is.
It's the
Doubletree.
old Holiday Inn.
Oh, it's changed its names. It was
I
Four
know.
Seasons or something.
I have to stop and think all the time.
Yeah, okay. I know you mean
called
down
it
on
the-
4th Street.
I called it the Dollar Tree one day.
And
It's a
Dunkirk
lovely
Fredonia
hotel.
at the-
Dunkirk Fredonia, we have a little bit of a unique situation there. In the winter months, we meet at the Beaver Club in Fredonia, and then when the sun is shining and the weather warms up, we meet at Shorewood Country Club right on Lake Erie.
Oh, that's where Dunkirk used to meet, just when
Exactly,
it was separate.
yes.
And we're at the Parkview Cafe right there in Westfield. So very nice.
Yeah.
So we got 5 vibrant clubs. Bob, what's the size of your club?
Well, it's like a lot of clubs, a lot of organizations around the country. We're down to probably 24, 25 people, which is, a tight group of 24 people, and most of the people have been members for a long time.
Right.
But as I was saying to Michele earlier, that means everybody's got to
All hands on deck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when we do a project. But you got to pat everybody on the back. They are there.
Yeah.
We do get things done.
Now, the Jamestown Noon Club, that's a little bit larger,
Oh,
right?
yeah. And is anybody listening?
Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
Well,
They're watching and listening. They're looking at you right now. Don't mess this up.
It's a senior. It's not a senior group. It's not sponsored by the OFA. But that's. All right. All right. Can I redeem myself at all here?
No, I think it's
too late.
beyond redemption.
That they're probably up to 100 people.
You're 100 people.
Longtime members. A lot of retired members and so forth. Yeah.
And they just celebrated their 100th anniversary. I think it was last year or the year before, right?
I'm not sure of that fact.
But I know they've celebrated 100 years. That I
okay,
know.
okay.
Because they had their big crystal ball.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they do big stuff. I mean,
Big
they
stuff.
have
That's okay.
big auctions and that. Yeah.
And do you know how old your club is?
Well, I've been in it 30 years, so it's an offshoot of that noon club,
Right.
as I said, and we still have some of our original members. Probably 35 years.
35?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And how about the combination of
Yeah,
those
the
two?
combination, Dunkirk and Fredonia merged. This will be going into our third year. But each of the clubs has a strong history of longevity. So I think Fredonia was going on like their 90 years, and Dunkirk was just a little bit shorter than that. What I love about the clubs is, while the umbrella of Rotary International, we all are service above self and working together for the betterment of mankind, each club has their own footprint
Yes, it does.
and their own identity. Many clubs are considered singing clubs, so they open with a song, they close with a song, there's a happy birthday. There's other clubs that are very traditional, and you'll find that with the clubs that have been around for a long time and have sustaining members who've been members for more than 20, 30 years. And then you have your newer clubs who sometimes are, they make different rule changes.
Streamline
And
it.
yeah, absolutely. Like the Faulkner Club has gone to meeting like the first and third Thursdays of the month, and it works well for them. The weekly meetings, they saw their attendance dropping a little bit, and they needed to think out of the box, and it has worked well for them. Your club went to 5:15, on Tuesdays. You
And
had
some
always
months we
been.
meet 3 times, some months we meet 4 times. Just depends how we set the calendar.
And so at one point, Rotary was very strict with their guidelines of when you were to meet, and it was always, during the lunch hour. But as memberships started to wane,
As life changes.
Yes,
culture changes.
absolutely.
Well, Rotary originally was it was like a group where you could not brainstorm. What's that word where you get together and talk?
Network?
Network. It was for networking, and so there was like slates. Like there were so many doctors, so many lawyers, so many and so you knew when you got there, boy, this was going to be a really varied group. You didn't want a whole room full of doctors or a whole room full of teachers or
Imagine that.
Yeah. So there were billets, let's call them, and that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, it's open
Yeah,
membership
it's open,
now.
and that's what the neat thing about Rotary. They change with the times. They're agreeable to however you want to donate the money, they'll take. However you want to set your meetings is okay too.
Right. All right, so why would anybody want to be a Rotarian? I'll throw that to either one of you.
I
Why?
go back to the service above of self, and the camaraderie that Rotarians have is, I think, compared to no other groups. You have that high level of international programming, then you have your district level, and then you have your local level. And if you are a people person and you enjoy meeting and learning and growing from others, many people say the speaker series alone. So most clubs, every single meeting that they have, there is a speaker from the community or from the region. And the amount of knowledge that you gain from these speakers is truly unbelievable. Our club, the Dunkirk Fredonia Club, we just recently sponsored the hashtag #MyFredonia contest. We gave a $1,000 check for the promotion of it, and that community and all of Chautauqua County was pulling. And all of these little different avenues and resources that the people who belong to Dunkirk Fredonia Club, there was more money donated through them as well. So it's a lot of people coming together, working together to improve the lives of people in the area or projects and events.
I think if anybody travels throughout the United States, the world, and I've got pictures. I was just at Cocoa Beach. I was on the beach, and I looked down, and there's a Rotary symbol, and they had provided those lifesavers, those rings,
yeah.
and it says, it said never swim without, or always swim near a lifeguard, and they had this lifesaver there. I go, "Wait, that's a great idea. I mean, we could do that in Lake Erie, Lake Chautauqua, whatever. But the point is, wherever I go, I look for that. I was in the middle of, I think, Cologne, Germany. All right, and there was something with Rotary. I've been in wherever, Canada, Italy. You always see Rotary somewhere.
You got to learn. get prepared to look for that Rotary cog.
Right, it's like a big
Yes.
Yeah, because you will see there. You see it on benches. You'll see it everywhere.
hospitals and parks and pools and since our club is 90 years old and I walk around our communities like in Westfield and Ripley and Sherman and Brockton area, Mayville, and you're going to see little things like that. You go to the Westfield Memorial Hospital, you go in the elevator, there's a big Rotary plaque in the elevator because they were one of the movers and shakers back in the 40s when they started the hospital with all other organizations. And I want to make clear right now in the show, Rotary is one of a handful of really fine service organizations. We just happen to be Rotarians because, and I'm not going to mention the other ones. They can come on. We'll talk about that. But the point I mean is, I'm not trying to say this is the ultimate because everybody has their purpose. Bob, why did you become a Rotarian?
I think it was the speakers. When you said that, that kind of dinged me. Because I was a teacher when I became a Rotarian, so I didn't see speakers because the speakers were the last part of the meeting, and I had to go to school.
You were early leaver.
So I had, so I didn't always hear. I always made sure I spoke to the person and explained to him why I was going. But I wanted to hear those speakers. They donated some money to playgrounds. We were building playgrounds, so they donated money to playgrounds. So
I worked on a couple of playgrounds.
We had I worked on a lot of playgrounds. Yeah. No, Rotary, I think, offers the newcomer in a community a chance to get to know the community
that's a
and
good
people
idea.
too.
Absolutely, great idea.
We did a tour of that Chautauqua. That's a lot of times we'll do a tour too. We did a tour of that new building in Jamestown, the Chautauqua Center.
One of my
it's like a big
underwriters.
clinic, like one of your underwriters. It's a great building, and they're going to have a lot of fabulous things going. And so we were impressing upon the lady giving us the tour that any new doctor that comes into town, new anesthetist, new dentist, or whoever comes into town, if they, please give them some Rotary information.
Right.
We're going to make a real effort at that, because if you move into a town and you don't know anybody, or you don't know, man, there's Rotary, and they may have heard of Rotary where they're coming from, so now they can actually be part of it.
Right.
Early in the morning too.
Yeah, that's true. Faulkner meets at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I attended their meeting this Thursday, and so that was a very early and very dark drive for me from Dunkirk, Fredonia, to get to the Faulkner site. And they had it at the Lutheran Social Services campus, the new clubhouse for the apartments, which, if anyone hasn't been there as of yet, it's
unbelievable,
fantastic.
I did a very informal survey one day of our club, and I would just food for thought as you talk to other Rotarians or people that are listening right now. One of the things I kind of happened on was I found that a lot of Rotarians have been Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts.
Oh, interesting.
I was.
I know you
I was
were. I know you were. You were a Cub Scout, were you?
No.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, but I found in my club, I would say about 60% of us had been in one of those organizations. And when I reflect upon things that those organizations did and do, and with Rotary, it's sort of a natural progression, of some very strong beliefs and mission and pillars of faith that we follow in how we deal with our fellow persons and men and women in this world. And so I just thought I mentioned that. And those listening right now, if you're looking for an organization that you want to do hands-on, you want to do good stuff, you don't have to be this white-collar worker. You don't have to be this person over here. It's open to anybody. And the reason why I say the white-collar work, because that was the way, as Bob said, was this white-collar, whatever. Mindset, and it's not that at all. And that's the beauty of our clubs now, is that everybody comes in and everybody has something to say or to add, and it's great.
Yeah, it is. Didn't it used to be women weren't in Rotary too?
Oh, no.
Very true. It was 1987 that women were finally allowed to be in Rotary.
I said we changed.
They were Rotary Annies or something. They had some funny little name. They were like auxiliary kind of thing.
Because in other countries, because I was somewhere one time and someone was a Rotarian from another country and said, "Oh, we don't have ladies in our club." You know, so it may not be all over the
Not
world.
all over the world,
or
very true.
The rule may have changed, but they haven't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and I'm proud to say I think our club is 60% female. And we're one of the highest, level of females. And our club has a lot of married couples.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
At one point, I think we had like 7 married couples in our
wow,
club.
that's interesting.
So we're kind of an interesting club where we are.
Two things that you touched on, Doc, the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts
Yeah.
is interesting.
Were you a Girl Scout?
I was a Girl Scout. I was a Girl Scout.
I was a Boy Scout. That's 2 out of 3.
Rotary actually has as young as 5-year-olds in schools now, which is called Early Act. So there's many schools, and there's a few right in our District 7090 that have Early Act clubs in the elementary school level, which I think is great. Then you have Interact, which is a little bit higher of a grade level, but those are children from 12 to 18 years old.
And I'm proud to say we have one right just down the road at Chautauqua Lake Central, and we have one at Brockton Central.
And Brockton is I'm not sure about the Chautauqua Lake one, I'm not familiar with it, but Brockton Interact Club is very active.
Brockton's a little more established, but Chautauqua Lake, it's coming up fast.
That's fantastic.
One of the things that Rotary has that I think is really neat is it's called Slapshot. And it's
Slapshot.
Slapshot. I don't know where that name came from.
It's an acronym.
Well, no, I don't think so. You think so?
It is.
Is it? Why-
Student Leadership.
I'm not that familiar with it.
Slap, and something. Slap. It is.
Well, thank you. I
I'm
thought
going to look it up. You keep talking.
I thought it was a hockey reference.
Oh.
Well, because we were
For
partly
the
in
Canadian
Canada.
side of things, of course.
Oh, Canada.
So that's a opportunity for kids, high school age kids, to go for some training. It's a long weekend. It's a great program. They learn interactive skills, and I think they do trust falls and rope courses if they're available, whatever. But it's a really good opportunity, and if somebody's interested, their students could check with their local Rotary, because it's coming up, I think, in April. The deadline may be in, but I think it's coming. I know it's coming up soon. It's a long weekend, and I'm not sure. It changes. The locale changes, but it's a great program.
And then there's Rotaract.
Hold
which
it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Student
Breaking news.
Leadership Award Program for students
Okay.
on training.
Okay, on training.
long
On
acronym.
training. The longest acronym I ever heard.
I knew it was an acronym.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here in Chautauqua
I'm going to be the
Sunrise.
speaker at my club this weekend. I'm going to talk about the meaning of Slapshot.
There you go.
See, you always learn something
Something,
from those
that's right.
speakers, don't we? Then there's Rotaract, which is ages 18 to 30. And so that's kind of a nice segue into then becoming a Rotarian.
And that's at the college, collegiate level.
Yes, yes.
And there was one at Fredonia.
Yes, it's ebbed and flowed throughout the years. I think it's trying to make a resurgence right now.
Well, I think it's hard when you have, like at the college, where you're there for 3 or 4 years, and then there isn't always that same interest coming behind you to keep it going. But like you said, if they can get a few people interested, keep it moving.
I don't know if you've ever had Enactus on your show, the Enactus from SUNY Fredonia.
No.
That program has seemed to take a lot of the same traits and responsibilities and just perks of what the Rotaract Club used to do at the college. So there might have been some crossover, and one waned and one took off.
We made an effort in Jamestown, and there was Key Club.
Right.
And Key Club is similar to
Kiwanis.
Is that an acronym? K-E-Y?
No. That could be, but it's the Kiwanis.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Because we had Key Club
Oh,
at my school
well,
when I was
when I was a kid, the Key Club was big, but I always, how you attribute something that may not be true to a club. Well, I always thought Key Club was, speakers, debate and that, but that's not.
No.
No.
That's what I thought it was.
And they
That's
have
what I
a younger version too. I think it's called Builders or Builders Club. I think it's called.
And then there's, what's it? Junior, I'm going to think junior,
Junior
achievement.
achievement,
Then
yes,
so there
yes.
are things for the kids, and what I find is
4-H.
4-H. There's all kinds of stuff for kids to do, and the things that flourish have a leader. So if there's a teacher who was in 4-H, he'll push 4-H. If there's a teacher who did plays in high school, they'll step forward and do a play at high school when they're a teacher.
Right.
So you got to have that oomph, that push.
Right. So, why did you join Rotary? I don't think you told me.
Yeah, she's losing it.
You're the older one, right?
I'm the older one, yeah.
You said you were a teacher.
Well, yeah.
But you didn't tell me why you
said,
joined.
well, I think it was, they donated money to the playground, and I got to a couple meetings, and I saw how, I knew some of the people, it was fun, and I wanted to hear the speakers, which I didn't for the first couple years because I was teaching.
Well, you told me that was the reasons you were in the morning club and that's the thing you missed, but you didn't tell me why you actually joined. You said that you had mentioned, it doesn't matter.
It's a great group of people, and they've come and gone, moved to Ken Lasker's in California, I mentioned his name before. Somebody just moved to Florida, Danny Blix moved to Florida. I mean, we've lost people, but they come and they go, and it's just a great group of people. And we're involved in the community and, globally, because I don't do anything else globally. Well, I take that back. I do. Honduras. We have a Honduras mission at church.
Okay.
Yeah.
People, I don't think, realize that many of these organizations were the backbone of our nation for many, many, many years. And it seems to me, and you can argue with me, that they're slowly disappearing and apathy has set in.
I think people's lives in general, we just had this discussion at one of our board meetings for the Dunkirk Fredonia Club, that many families have two jobs. So the mom has two jobs, the dad has two jobs, and then sometimes there's even a third as far as maybe selling something, like the purses or different things like that, Avon, Tupperware, whatever it might be. So people are very busy in and of that themselves. Then their children are very busy in sports and dance and scouting and things like that. And so their needs are being met, people's needs are being met in all those other avenues. So it's not just Rotary, we're seeing that across the board. We're seeing it in faith communities, we're seeing it in, scouting, there's colleges even sometimes, the service organizations at colleges. So it's a sign of our times. I always like this saying though, there will be a resurgence. Whatever ends up fading away ends up coming back at some point.
I think about PTAs, and I remember when I was a kid, my mother went to PTA and she wore a hat and gloves, and it was in the afternoon
formal.
because all the women were home; they weren't working. I was a child a long time ago. It was on the covered wagon days. But so the PTAs, I think, have trouble. Even the VFWs and some of those
Masonic
organizations,
groups,
Masonic groups, and that because, as you said, people are working. Their values have changed. They're taking care of parents. It's all kinds of things.
But there are those that do want to continue.
yeah.
So here's what we're going to do. I got a caller here we're going to take in a second, and we got some pictures we got to share. So, good morning, caller.
Oh, good morning, Doc. And good morning, Michele and Bob. This is Linda Spalding.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda. How
I
are
was
you this
waiting-
morning?
Speaking of OFA.
Good, thank you. It's great to see you on the show. And I don't know if you're making your predictions yet about Groundhog Day, but
No shadow. That's our prediction.
well, I've noticed the last few years we've had great winters until the groundhog came out, and then we've had awful weather.
Oh, thanks for reminding us of that.
And they're not, some places, I guess, like Staten Island, they're not going to have the real groundhog. They think it's abusive. We're going to have little robot dance.
Randy said something about that. I thought he was just making it up.
A
No,
robot
I read it in the
groundhog.
paper.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's abusive to let a little groundhog get up and see all those lights and stuff,
Well, okay.
Why don't they put sunglasses on their groundhog? That would solve it.
There you have it. Thank you, Linda.
It's too hard to get sunscreen on a groundhog.
Linda, we've had some interaction with the OFA, Office for the Aging, with Rotary lately, right?
Right. And I'm so glad to hear that you're going to have someone from our office come and talk about different senior issues.
Yeah.
Like
Wills and
wills
yeah.
and living wills and power of attorney and that
executor
sort of
stuff, yeah.
And the Office for the Aging has open forums periodically on that kind of material. They did one in September, and they'll be doing another one probably in the spring.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that, and thank you for coming on and talking about service organizations. And yes, I have noticed, I belong to the Lions Club, that
There you go,
the
yeah.
members are dwindling. It's harder to get, it's harder to recruit people.
Absolutely,
It is,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good that we have them. We have to keep them going.
Keep them
and-
going, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did want to mention that we do have their senior employment program.
Mm-hmm.
And I am recruiting someone now to be a driver aide to the Meals on Wheels program with our senior employment program. And of course, there are other positions. This is a good time to be looking for work. There are other services with the Office for the Aging, and if people are interested, they may call. Our Mayville office number is 753-4471.
Terrific. All right, Lynn. So, Super Bowl prediction?
Oh, I think maybe Kansas City. What do you think?
6 out of 7.
We'll see.
Okay.
I can't say the Bills this year, right?
Say what you want. We were all wrong earlier this year, so anyways. All right, well, have a great Groundhog's Day and enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll talk to you next
Okay,
time.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Jeff, we got some pictures, so let's see what we got here. I have no idea what I'm going to look at.
Oh, me either.
Okay. All right.
So each year Rotary has a theme, and this year's theme is Rotary Connects the World.
Okay, just keep them rolling.
And these were teachers that worked with the Faulkner Group and ended up donating books to one of the YWs in Jamestown.
Great.
Yeah, that was a fun. It was at your club.
Well, yeah. We do. We take the kids from the East Side Y and we go to a hockey game, and we offered this too last year. And they have those sumo wrestling things on ice, I guess it is, and you get in a big ball and you
All right.
roll
Now
around.
remember, we got people that are listening that can't see this. So
right,
describe
right,
it.
right.
What are we looking at?
Oh, you can't see this picture?
They're listening on the radio.
It's like bumper cars on ice. They're the wheels, so they're not blades.
Okay.
They're bumper cars on ice, and then they have those big sumo costumes you get,
Yeah.
or you get in a big like a squirrel ball or a gerbil
Oh,
ball.
yeah, I've
like
seen
a
those,
squirrel
yeah.
ball too. They do that. They've got a lot of different things at the arena.
You know, I'm glad you pointed out the fun side because Rotary, our clubs, we have social nights just to get together and have a good time. And I'm planning right now, because I'm president of our club, having a movie night over at the Lakeshore Center for the Arts. And I'm not going to tell anybody what we're going to see. But the whole idea is we're going to have our meeting and then go on over and have a movie. And then we've gone out to a local restaurant and hung out and tried different beverages and things like that. So what do your clubs do for fun?
We have a Christmas party for sure.
Oh, well, yeah, we have that too.
We used to do Lobster Fest. We did that. That was a fundraiser and fun. I'm not sure if I'm not around a lot. We had twins in our family, so I'm away a lot. So I don't know what's planned. I missed a couple meetings.
Okay, Michelle, how about your
Well,
club?
this coming Friday, we're actually having a potluck supper
nice.
at the Grange in Fredonia, and then
nice.
after that, there's the square dancing. So who's
my
ever very
God.
adventurous and wants to kick up their
Change
heels,
to the left and brother to the right.
they'll be able to participate in that. And of course, the Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary is very well known for our annual fly-in breakfast.
Right, we talk about it
Yeah,
here.
every single year.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's people from out of the district and even into Pennsylvania, sometimes even from Ohio, who mark that weekend on their calendars. So that's exciting that it's generated so much publicity. And again, all proceeds benefit
Right back to the
non-for-profits
community.
in
right
the
back
area.
in.
Yeah, we do same.
Okay, let's keep those pics flowing. What do we got here?
That was just a nice thank you from the Y to the AM Jamestown Club.
That's taken in the Y.
Yes.
I'm rolling.
This
Holy
is huge. So this is the Jamestown PM Noon Club. This is their Rotary Student Exchange Weekend.
Right.
Holy
That's how many
mackerel.
students
All right,
participated.
for those who are listening, we're looking at about 30 individuals, all dressed the same. These are from around the world, kids?
Yep, and they're exchange students in our district, in the 709. So they could be up in Welland, St. Catherine's, wherever.
Oh, so they all get together?
Yes, for the weekend, and the rules and regulations of when they go for foreign exchange in the countries, and then also all the perks and benefits that they're going to get from that experience
nice.
are
These-
discussed.
These are incoming and outgoing
Right.
students. We have
Okay.
students going out to other countries, and we have students coming in from countries.
Okay. Next.
And this is Colonel Vince Horrigan, and that's the cleanup crew from the Jamestown PM Club.
Oh, yeah, we do highway cleanup
We
in
do-
ours.
We do highway cleanup too.
Yes.
That's
Maybe,
another-
maybe
I think we
Westfield
might
Hills,
have a
ours.
picture of that. And this one I love because I want to put a challenge out to all the other mayors and town supervisors and elected officials in our county to become Rotarians. So this is new mayor Eddie Sundquist, and he's one of the newest members of the Jamestown
Excellent.
PM Club.
Glad to have
Yay.
all of them, yeah. What else we got?
And this is the Faulkner Club, and I like to say, just kind of like your club, Bob, not tons of people in it, but small but mighty.
Yeah.
So this was their cleanup project for the Santa House in Faulkner, which is followed up by another picture that they have the Santa Claus parade and sponsor that each and every year.
You know, our club spruced up the York Museum in Sherman. We went over to a church that has sort of an elderly congregation, and we did some landscaping. So we do a lot of work things, but they're fun things.
Yeah,
We all
yeah.
get together and have a good time.
And that's the Faulkner Pancake Breakfast. That's another long-standing tradition in the community, and everybody looks forward to us.
Okay. Oh, got a lot of pictures.
And this is our claim to fame. There's Melissa Sorcy Taft on the right.
That's Jefferson.
Yeah, that's Jefferson on the left, and the current president for the Dunkirk Fredonia Club, Marcy, in the middle. And that was our presentation check to the hashtag MyFredonia
Oh, nice.
movement. And of course, they came in #1, so that community is going to be receiving $500,000
We've been talking about it here.
from the Deluxe Corporation.
Awesome. Deluxe.
Love it.
And so Rotary has what is our grants. So they have matching grants. So your local Rotary Club will put in $2,000. The district club will match it $2,000. So you'll have $4,000 to give to a local non-for-profit. This particular one was given to the Rural Ministries of Chautauqua County, and they bought a juice presser. So any of the fruit that's gleaned after the season can be pressed down and made into fruit juice.
Our club this week will be presenting models of the human breast at the Westfield Memorial Hospital through a district grant that was matched by us and vice versa. And it'll be the opportunity for people to learn how to do self-examination for breast cancer, men and women, and they're going to have little cards to remind them how to do that called shower cards. So we're all doing really cool work. We got time for a few more.
So have to plug the save the date for the 56th annual Dunkirk Fredonia Fly-In Breakfast, and that is at the Buffalo Heritage Squadron. It's one of few World War II planes that are still flying in the United States, and people can actually purchase rides on that plane
Give
that
me
day.
Dramamine.
They do use it as a fundraiser. It's an expensive flight,
Oh,
but
yeah.
how many opportunities do you have to fly in a World War II plane?
Okay, keep them coming. We got about a minute left. Oh,
Great,
there's some of
there,
our folks.
yeah, there you go.
There's Stephen.
This was the Office for the Aging Santa for Seniors gift bags that
Yep.
the Westfield Mayville group Rotary did. And then the next photo, again, another highway cleanup crew.
There we are.
There's somebody looking kind of familiar right in the middle there.
Westfield Mayville Hill. Okay.
And this is an international project. So Dan Smith, second from the left, is the VTT Vocational Training Team Coordinator. And the rest of the people in the green, they were participants in the Brazil trip, which was focused completely on medicine. And the gentleman to the left on that picture was our district governor, Barb Artis.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop at this point because we got about a half
That
a
was the
minute
last
left.
one.
Oh, well, I tried to do So, Michele, if people are interested in Rotary, how do they get hold of anybody?
So the easiest thing to do would be to Google Rotary in Chautauqua County, Westfield Mayville Rotary, Dunkirk Fredonia, Faulkner, Jamestown. If you Google any of those, all their Facebook pages will pop up, their club runner pages will pop up, and direct contact information is always featured on those pages.
And we're on Facebook.
Absolutely, yes.
Right. Bob, you get the last word. Why join Rotary?
Why? Learn about your community. Even if you've lived there for a long time, I bet if you joined, I'm just talking about newcomers before, but if you're a person who's lived in a community for a long time, you join a Rotary or another service club, you'll learn what your community's really about.
Thanks, Bob. Folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guests have been Assistant Governor Michele Starwalt for Rotary Area 16 and Bob Tereberry, a fellow Rotarian from the Jamestown AM Club. I'm Doc Hamels. I'm a Rotarian, and I'm the president of the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club, and we encourage you to join Rotary as well or check us out. So we're going to do this all again next Saturday morning, 9 a.m. right here on Access Chautauqua, channel 1301. So if you've been watching us around the world, make sure you give us a like and let us know where you are and if you like the show. Take care, and we'll see you all next time.